Along with jumping comes landing. And when you're landing on an obstacle, you want to make sure that you have different options to keep yourself safe. Within those options is what we call the landing continuum. We have the precision jump, we have the bounce back, the half cat, the cat hang, and the cat abort. With that landing continuum, I'm able to approach a jump knowing that I have these things to fall back on so I can be confident. Because if I shoot for the top within that landing continuum and I don't hit that, I have option 2, 3, 4, or 5. As I approach a jump, one, I want to make sure that I know how far I can jump and I can leave myself a few options within that landing continuum, but also aggressively approaching the jump without hesitation so that I know I'm going to keep myself safe. The first landing within that landing continuum is a precision landing. Landing precisely on the edge, sticking it. With landing on the edge, not only is it more skillful, but it's gonna keep us safe and protect our joints. If I land on top, I risk the chance of slipping out, but also my ankle here is locked. It's a closed joint. I'm not able to bend it, so all of that landing force comes into my knee. If I land on the edge, again, not only is this keeping me from slipping out, but I'm able to bend in my ankle, which means I can start to absorb in the ankle, then the knee, then the hip, which is gonna protect my joints. Landing on that edge is also going to assist me in sticking my landing. From there, we wanna move into the bounce back. Within that bounce back, it's exactly how it sounds. You're bouncing back off of the obstacle. Again, as long as we're keeping our feet together, getting both feet on the obstacle at the same time, we're gonna remain safe. When I utilize the bounce back is when I don't quite give it enough power to where I can stick on the obstacle and I start to fall back. So I'm gonna quickly bounce back off the obstacle, get my feet back underneath me, still facing the obstacle that I was trying to land on, and a nice good landing on the ground. As we start to get on things that are a little bit higher, as I do my bounce back, I'm now falling a lot further to the ground. That's where it's even more important that with my bounce back, I'm still going into that good landing, feet together, facing the obstacle. Utilizing my hands as well. When I utilize my hands, it's almost like a backwards ground Kong. So I'm gonna land on the obstacle just like I would if I'm landing on the wall, bounce back to my hands, push to my feet on the ground. So as I start to incorporate that with my bounce back at height, again, utilizing my hands to slowly lower myself to the ground. But I also have more time now to go into that half cat. As I bounce back, if I'm comfortable putting my arms on, I can start to, as long as I'm high enough, go into that half cat position. Half cat is gonna look like this. With that half cat, again, making sure that both my feet land at the same time. I'm now taking the ground and I'm putting it here. So I'm still landing with my feet first, absorbing in and then putting my hands on. This is a way you can utilize the landing continuum to progress a jump. Start with something you know you can do that's relatively simple, and then start to challenge yourself, knowing that if you don't quite get that challenge, you can fall back on those other options. As I start to go to height, as long as I know that I can jump and get my feet somewhere on that wall, I can utilize that landing continuum. Again, in my head, I'm being aggressive and I'm treating it like I'm trying to jump and land in that precision landing. So I'm not hesitating. I'm going all out. As long as I know I can get 2 feet somewhere on that wall, I know I can be safe. If I don't get quite high enough, I can bounce back, nice and safe on the way down. So just barely missing that top, scooping feet to hands into that half cat. Feet always landing first. If I'm not getting my feet high enough that when I scoop to my hands, I'm in a good position to keep my elbows and wrists safe, I wanna go ahead and go into the cat hang. Again, feet on first, adding a little bit of that bounce back to go into a cat hang. I was trying to land on top. I landed really high. I bounced back and went into that cat hang. 2 feet to 2 feet, landing just like I would on the ground with my feet first on the wall, going into that cat hang. From there, I can use the cat abort. Using that cat hands and feet on the wall, if I don't quite make it far enough to where I can grab the top, I can still put my hands on the wall and almost use the wall to help glide and slide and guide me down. Transferring that feet to the wall, a little bit straighter wall, landing with my feet first, bouncing back, getting to my hands, pushing back to my feet. Controlling the obstacle with my feet and with my hands.